Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So today we're going to look at the Deck Builder's Toolkit that goes with the Ixalan set. And have a quick look on the back. So 285 cards, which that hasn't actually changed since the original Deck Builder's Toolkit. So we've got 125 semi-randomized cards, 4 15-card booster packs from recent Magic the Gathering sets, 100 basic land cards, a deck building's guide to building the best Magic decks, a Magic quick reference card, and a reusable card storage box, which essentially is this. Okay, so I haven't taken a look yet online to see what the archetypes that sort of are covered in that semi-random element. Sometimes they put it in the deck building guide, sometimes they don't. So what you find with these is there's normally a pool of 11 different archetypes, something in that region I think, and what they do is they give you 4 out of that 11. But as we open this up, I'll sort of explain which are the fully random, which are the semi-random. See what we've got. So we've got a pack of Ixalan, pack of Kaladesh. So it's pretty good. So we've got, actually, it's good to see we've got the most recent sets. So 2 packs of Ixalan, a pack of Kaladesh, and a pack of Archetype. So also in here, I'll just move that out of the way. And they sort of subdivide these up. What you normally find is you've got a land pack here, and then there'll also be a pack of cards that actually never changes. It always contains, regardless of how many boxes you open, you'd always find the same cards in there. I'm not too sure. One of these packs contains more of the land. There's a few more of those sort of core cards, if you like, that are in all these Deck Builders Toolkits from Ixalan. And in this pack, which I can sort of determine by the Evolving Wilds, this pack would be the one that contains the archetypes. So there's going to be 4 archetypes in here, each sandwiched between an Evolving Wilds, and that'll be 4 out of about 11 I think. So I'm going to look in here and see if it gives us a clue as to the different archetypes. If not, I'm going to have to sort of guess as I unpack this as to what route they might be going down. So one side of this is how to build the deck. So sort the cards, find your key cards, explore your options, focus your deck, add your lands, and then play and refine your deck. Yeah, so they did this in a previous one. What they've just done is give you a breakdown of the 5 colours of Magic, and then what those 5 colours represent within the colour pie. So no real clues as to what archetypes you might expect here. Then we've got this standard quick reference guide. So what I think I'll do first of all is I will open up these 2. So we have basic lands using the artwork from Ixalan. So we've got 100 basic lands, 20 of each. Okay, so I can see what they've done here. This is quite convenient. So you can see here the way it's subdivided up. We get a real good idea of the artwork for the different lands. So I shouldn't need to go all the way through of this in terms of seeing all the lands. What I would want to do is just make sure that all this pack does contain just lands, as I'm sure it does, but just in case we've got anything lurking in here that shouldn't be. I don't think that's anything they've done in a long while. I remember when I opened way back the 10th edition core set fat pack, one thing they did with that is actually had artwork from an upcoming set in the fat pack, which was an interesting thing to do. I don't know if they've ever done that again with a product. So there we have all artwork from Ixalan. In this pack, and this is something they've been doing for the last few, where's my knife gone? The last few deck builders toolkits, is putting in the cheaper dual lands. So most what you'll find now is there's pretty much always a set of dual lands in standard, at least one set. So what they've got here is the tap lands. So we've got Forsaken Sanctuary, Highland Lake. It looks like they've probably got a couple of each. Foul Orchard, Stone Quarry, Woodland Stream. And these aren't part of that land, that 100 land. These are part of the deck builder's toolkit that doesn't change from between different so if you were to open deck builder's toolkits, the current one Ixalan, you'd always find these in here, but they're not part of that land pack, even though they're in with the lands. So here's what we've got the remainder of our 100 lands. Yep, they are part of this pack. So what you get with this pack is, I mean, I've always called them staples. To me, they're cards which are sort of synonymous with the particular colour. They've started, and this has been for quite a while now, they've started including rares in this. They didn't in the original deck builders toolkits. You never got any rares apart from in the booster packs. So we've got Victory's Herald for white, Sphinx of Magosi for blue, Nightmare for black, Shivan Dragon for red, and Garrick's Horde for green. Notice that also there's a different logo on these, because these form part of a, I wouldn't say unofficial core set, but there is a core set of cards, even though there's no core set, which Wizards produce, and you find they only have them in special products or in the sort of giveaway 30 card decks, and you'll notice they've got this logo on them. So this has got the number 17 on it. Now, of course, once we see the return of core sets, this will go away. But it was a way in which Wizards had a method which they could still print sort of common cards outside of the current sets, the rotating sets. Now these do rotate, but they're just not available in boosters. And like I said, they normally appear in special product like the Deck Builders Toolkit, as an example. So we're going to see cards here from more recent sets now. So this is commons and uncommons. So we've got Imperial Aerosaur, Adanto Vanguard, Inspiring Cleric, Cast Out. So these are all our those are uncommons in white. And then moving on to commons, Raptor Companion, we've got a couple of those. Territorial Hammer Skull, a couple of those. Fragmentize from an earlier set. Compulsory Rest, also from an earlier set. And then blue Angler Drake, so our uncommons first, then Charter Course, Perilous Voyage, Supreme Will, and then moving on to our commons. So we've got a couple of unsummons, Spell Pierce, a couple of those, Essence Scatter, Wire Trap Weaver, Doomfall, so we're moving on to our black uncommons, Kite Sail, Gifted Etherborn, Kite Sail Freebooter, Walk the Plank, Dire Fleet Hoarder, Contract Killing, Supernatural Stamina, Duress, Scarab Feast, Charging Monstrosaur, so uncommons in red, Wily Goblin, Abrade, Lightning Strike, Nest Romber, so our rare commons, Fathom Fleet Firebrand, Frenzied Raptor, Pursue Glory, Shock is in here, I've got a couple of those, and then our green ones are our uncommons first, Savage Stomp, Merfolk Branchwalker, Arborback Stomper, Blossoming Defence, Tishana's Wayfinder, moving on to our green commons, Druid of the Cowl, a couple of those, Prey Upon, Colossal Dreadmaw, Dissenter's Deliverance. So now we're moving on to the other cards here. Got another non-basic land to go with our dual colour lands. We've got Unclaimed Territory. Then they normally put in some artifacts as well. Pirate's Cutlass, there's a couple of those. Hierophant's Chalice, Prophetic Prism is in here, and another non-basic land in the form of Sun-Scorched Desert. So that, along with our dual lands, are the cards that would be the same, however many of these Ixalan Deck Builders Toolkits you bought. So now we have the pack that contains the archetypes. So 4 from a choice of somewhere around 11, I imagine. If it's supposed to see same as previous sets, or 11 to 12. Evolving Wilds, so we're going to get 4 of these. So we've got River Sneak, Deep Root Waters, Vine Shaper Mystic, looks like Merfolk, Kumina's Speaker, Shapers of Nature, Shaper Apprentice, a couple of those, Water Trap Weaver, Jade Guardian, River Herod's Boon, and our next Evolving Wilds. So just to quickly recap on this, because I know people are sort of interested in the usability and when these are going to rotate out of standard. So every single one of these, I believe, is from Ixalan. It looks like it is a green-blue Merfolk archetype. And what else was I going to mention about that? Anything else of any? Oh yeah, they're all commons and uncommons. That's the other thing. I think I'm right. I've yet to see them put a rare in this archetypes section. Okay, moving on, we've got Siren Storm Tamer, Charter Course, Ruthless Knave. Okay, so it's Pirates, Deadeye Plunderers, a couple of those, Sailor of Means, Pirate's Prize, Contract Killing, a couple of those, Desperate Castaways, our next Evolving Wilds. Okay, so Duskborn Sky Marcher. Okay, I wonder if this must be white, black vampires by the look of things. Vicious Conquistador, Bishop of the Bloodstained, Call to the Feast, a couple of those, Bishop Soldier, Queen's Commission, Sky March Bloodletter, Anointed Deacon, there's a couple of those, Onyx Evolving Wilds. And we've got Charging Monstrosaur, Raptor Hatchling, Atsakan Archer, Raging Raptors, Raging Swords Tooth, Sun-Crowned Hunters, a couple of those, Chandra's Pyrohelix, Ravenous Daggertooth, a couple of those. So I'm hoping this isn't the case, that I can't believe that these would all be the same. But what's really strange here is we seem to have all the main tribes from Ixalan. You can see there we've got a card from an earlier set that makes sense in this archetype. But you can see the rest are all Ixalan cards, of course, apart from the Evolving Wild sandwiched in here, so we get 4 of these. So we've got the dinosaurs, the vampires, then the pirates, and the merfolk. So yeah, if anybody else has opened one of these, I'd be curious as to what 4 archetypes they got, and I'm going to have to look online now because I'm curious as to whether there is a pool of these, because that's very strange that I managed to get all 4 of the Ixalan archetypes. Okay, so let's do this actually in reverse order. We'll do, yep, so that's going to be Kaladesh first. Actually, I've just thought about this. A better choice here would have been Hour of Devastation, thinking about it. But there you go. There's always got to be one pack that's older than the rest whenever they do these deck builders toolkits. So going through, we've got Herald of the Fair, High Tide Hermit, Kujar Seed Sculptor, Thriving Rats. So you can see their energy was a thing in Kaladesh. Pressure Point, Bastion Mastodon, Wielding Sparks, Cogworker's Puzzle Knot, yeah, there was a cycle of puzzle knots, Tidy Conclusion, Inventor's Goggles, Shrewd Negotiation, Oval Chase Daredevil, so we're moving on to our uncommons, Start Your Engines, yeah, vehicles were a thing in that particular set and in the block as a whole. And our mythic, oh excellent, we have a mythic rare in our rare slot. We've got a Combustible Gearhulk, 4 and 2 red, artifact creature construct. It's a 6/6 with first strike. When Combustible Gearhulk enters the battlefield, target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If the player doesn't, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then Combustible Gearhulk deals damage to that player equal to the total converted mana cost of those cards. We have a Swamp and an advert card. And we'll move on to Anket. So starting with our commons, Winged Shepherd, Essence Scatter, Desert Ceradon, Forsake the Worldly, Soul Stinger, A bit of a dodgy print on that. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit blurry. Colossipede. There's a couple like that where the slightly darker text on there. Luxor River Shrine. Hooded Brawler. River Serpent. Unwavering Initiate. So it had embalm in it. Start and Finish. By Force. Destined to Lead. And another mythic, Glorious End. 2 and a red instant, end the turn. Exile all spells and abilities on the stack, including this card. The player whose turn it is discards down to his or her maximum hand side damage wears off, and this turn and until end of turn effects end. At the beginning of your next end step, you lose the game. And we have a swamp. And oh yeah, one of these. So these had lots of punch outs on them, so you could have these flags for exerted, embalmed, and the brick things, brick counters, and the -1/-1 stuff as well. That's a pretty good idea for them to do that actually on those. So let's see what we've got in our 2 Ixalan packs. Frenzied Raptor, Petrodon Knight, Deeproot Warrior, One with the Wind, Ancient Brontodon, Pounce, Prying Blade, Headstrong Brute, Kinjali's Cooler, Tishana's Wayfinder. I'm just going to stop on this card because one thing I noticed I didn't do so well when I did the Fat Pack unboxing was take a look at Explore, because it's sort of buried inside the rules text. So this is an Explore card. So when Tishana's Wayfinder enters the battlefield, it explores. Reveal the top card of your library. Put that card into your hand if it's a land, otherwise put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, then put the card back or put it into your graveyard. Emergent Growth, Unclaimed Territory, so moving on to our uncommons. Emissary of Sunrise, and we've got another mythic, so our 3rd mythic. This is Boneyard Parley, 5 and 2 black, sorcery. Exile up to 5 target creature cards from graveyards. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put all cards from the pile of your choice onto the battlefield under your control, and the rest into their owners' graveyards. Oh yeah, here we go. We've got one of these ones because there was double face cards in the set. So there's a checklist here if you want to play double face cards in that particular way. And we've also got a treasure token. Sun-Crowned Hunters. So Enrage is a thing in Ixalan. Whenever Sun-Crowned Hunters is dealt damage, it deals 3 damage to target opponent. Vampire Zeal, Desperate Castaways, Fire Shrine Keeper, Blossom Dryad, Storm Sculptor, Spike-tailed Ceratops, Pirate's Prize, Pious Interdiction, Crushing Canopy, Oh yeah, vehicles are also a thing in Ixalan. So we've got a sleek schooner here. Makeshift makeshift munitions. Deadeye plunderers, another uncommon. Rampaging Ferocidon is our rare. So, tuna red, creature dinosaur with menace. Players can't gain life. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, Rampaging Ferocidon deals 1 damage to that creature's controller, and it's a 3/3. Got a mountain and a pirate token. Okay, so that was an interesting toolkit. A couple of reasons. We had 3 out of the 4 of the booster packs had mythic rares in them, which statistically is pretty good, considering it's around sort of 1 in 6. The other interesting thing was that our archetypes part of the toolkit was all 4 of the main archetypes, main tribes in Ixalan, which in terms of then trying to complement that with the boosters that we had, in fact we got 2 Ixalan, it would get us pretty good hits, because we're going to come across fairly regularly in those packs the 4 main tribes. Anyway, there we have it. That's my unboxing of the Ixalan Deck Builders Toolkit. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.